Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are enjoying. And today is the first episode of Tips and Tricks. Today we're going to be talking about hitting, so let's get into this. The very first thing we're going to be talking about today is your motion when you're hitting. So when you're hitting, you don't want a giant leg kick. You may see some people in the big leagues do a giant leg kick, but it actually slows down your momentum just the tiniest bit, which could definitely get you off. So what you want to do is that when you're swinging, you want to have the tiny leg kick, and when you're coming around, stretch out your arms fully and make sure the bat hits the middle of the ball. Because when it hits the middle of the ball will go farther than you would actually think it would. So let's say I'm just going to take a wild swing. Like that would go far. But that would only be probably about a single. But let's see what happens when I take the small leg kick. It goes much farther. Now, it backed up, the ball. But as you can see, once you take the smaller leg kick, it will definitely increase the power because you have a lot more mobility and a lot more strength in your swing. So also another thing is that when you're swinging, you want to keep both hands on the bat, because also keeping both hands on the bat helps with getting more strength and power into the ball. So let me show you that. So you can see that I had way more strength and power when I kept both hands on the bat. So let's move on to the second segment of this, which is I prefer to stand in the back of the batter's box. And make sure not to stand too close to the catcher, because if you're hitting, and let's say you swing, but as you're swinging you hit the catcher's glove and mitt are the same thing, but their glove, their face mask, that's that's an interference by the catcher. That's a free base, but you never want to do that because you never want to hurt anybody. So if you're standing in the back of the box, make sure to keep your distance from the catcher. But when you're standing in the back of the box, it also gives you more time to react to where the pitcher is. I saw something online about how it's regularly about 200 milliseconds for you to react to a 95 mile per hour pitch coming down the middle. So if you stand in the back of the box, it's going to give you way more time than just 200 milliseconds to react. So let's say I'm standing in the back of the box, 95 miles an hour at me. I'm swinging and I'm getting line drives. That's perfect, because I'll have more time to react to the ball than a normal person standing way up here in the box and taking a swing. So that's also really good to do. Let's move on to the third segment of this, which is control of the bat. Now, there are some clips out there of MLB players swinging and going like this, and then the bat just flies out of their hand and goes down the third baseline. That's never a good thing. That's always an automatic out and probably an ejection. So you do not want to do that. You want to make sure that I'm using lizard grip. It really helps with keeping grip on the bat when you're swinging, so that if you're swinging with no gloves on, you have much more control over the bat than you would with just normal grip tape or no grip tape. I am using a metal bat, so it does boost up the power a little bit. But even with the wood bat, same thing. So make sure you're doing that. And when you're swinging, and like I said before with the stride, it's the same thing with this hand right here. This hand's the top hand. So this is your power hand right here. So when you're swinging, all the power comes from the back of your body. So let's say I'm versing a guy who's throwing 60 at me. I want to, there's also another thing. You want to load. And what loading means is that when you're in your stance, when the pitcher gets here, when he comes up, you want to start moving back like this. And then when he comes with the pitch and it comes down, swing. I didn't mean to knock off the ball, but I did. So that's definitely a good thing to know, that when you load, you're gonna have more power, because what happens is when you load, your power shifts from the front of your body all the way to the back, and then you swing and you get way more power once you come through, because all that power shifted from the front to the back of your body. So, I got one last thing to say. It's mostly about just staying calm in the batter's box. So this isn't really like a hitting tip. It's more of just a tip in general, that when you're hitting, you want to stay calm in the batter's box, because if you're not calm, they're going to strike you out. You're going to hit a ground out. You're going to hit a pop fly. You want to be calm in the batter's box. So if you're ever terrified of hitting because you think you're going to get hit by the pitcher, just remember this. The pitcher isn't trying to hit you. The pitcher will never ever try and hit you. He doesn't want to hurt you. So if you're just like standing way back in the batter's box and swinging, you're not ever going to get contact with the ball. You're going to strike out a lot, ground out. So make sure to stand in there, be in the back of the batter's box, get in your stance, load, and swing. Both hands on the bat until you finish. So those are some tips from me. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!